Hello, thank you again for watching. My name is Hon.odonga. I'm a critical thinker, and today I'm going to discuss a very important subject matter in Africa, which is war. In Africa, for the last 50 years, we have had 549 conflicts. 549 conflicts struck wars. Of course, there are several types of wars and conflicts. We have elite conflict. We have factional conflicts, where certain factions of a society is fighting the other, maybe for religious, economic reasons. We have communal conflicts in the African continent, where we all know communal conflicts. We have foreign intervention conflicts in the African continent, occasionally causing wars. And we have interstate and intrastate conflicts in the continent of Africa. We've had the war in Sudan in 1990. We had the conflict in Chad between 1965 and 85. We know in Angola, we still have conflict which started in 1974 to today. We had wars in Liberia from 1980 to 2003. In Nigeria, we had a war from 1967 to 1970. In Somalia, we had a conflict and war in 1991 to 1993. Some of you who are old enough would remember how the Americans withdrew out of Somalia and the state collapsed. We've had wars in Burundi. We had a genocide in Rwanda. And we also in Sierra Leone, we had conflict and wars between 1991 and 2002. But we've also had interstate conflict between states. For example, there has been a war between Kenya and Somalia in 1963, in 1967. There has been an interstate conflict between Nigeria and Cameroon over the Bakassi Peninsula in 1970. There has been a war and conflict between Algeria and Morocco, where they were fighting over about the Atlas Mountains. I was privileged. I went to Morocco and to Casablanca, and I saw the Atlas Mountains. There was a war there in 1963, well before I was born, but being a contemporary historians, we have to dig deep and get the facts. There has been a war between Eritrea and Ethiopia in 1962, 1970, and finally 1993, that led to the creation of a new country. We've had a conflict between Somalia and Ethiopia in 1964, 1975. Chad and Libya, there was a crisis in 1980 and to 1986. So where does the philosophy come in? Where is the philosophy of Hon.odonga? Where is the critical thinking? Where is the law? Why do we have to talk about this? Why are Africans killing themselves to that magnitude? This has come because of the colonial policy of divide and rule. The colonialists came to Africa, they divided the countries, they created countries after the 1884 Berlin Conference, where they divided Africa by a stroke of a pen. Some tribes were divided into two. The Iwe in Ghana, ethnic community in Ghana, the Iwe were divided between Ghana and Ivory Coast. The same Iwe group, which were one tribe under one king, were divided between Ghana and Togo. The Yoruba were divided between Nigeria and Benin. The Maasai in Kenya were divided between Tanzania and Kenya. The Acholi were divided between Sudan and Uganda. These are same tribes. The Itesots were divided between Uganda and Kenya. The Samia were divided between Uganda and Kenya. They divided the communities. Occasionally, I even joke that there are some ethnic groups where you have lunch in the sitting room and you have breakfast in the other part of the sitting room. The colonial boundaries went straight through their sitting rooms. We had a local politician in Uganda. Rest in peace, Aggrey Awori. When he wins the election in Uganda, the celebration is in the Kenyan border. The Kenyan side, people run celebrating there. He had a brother, Hon.odonga Awori, vice president in Kenya. In Uganda, we have a minister, a very good minister, Hillary Onek. He's a minister in Uganda. But because it's a border community, the brother is a permanent secretary in the government of South Sudan. So this shows how the European colonial powers divided the African community. But briefly, let's talk about the impact. What impact has these wars, intrastate and interstate wars, had on the African continent? Burundi civil war claimed 200,000 lives. The Liberia 14-year-old war claimed 250,000 lives. In Sierra Leone, the war that took place from 1991 to 2001, 200,000 Sierra Leoneans died. In South Sudan, 400,000 died. Where are we going as Africans? How can we break the chains of the war? You see, one thing that you don't know, war is a business. The Western powers, the superpowers, after the Second World War, they resolved never again to fight. Every time there is war, you hear a president in the US saying, America is going to war. We are going to war. They are not at war. They go somewhere and fight, and then they go back home. Now listen to this. War is a business for some people. As the world globalizes, so does the arms industry globalize. There are people who are smiling all the way to the bank. Big checks. There are people who profiteer from the misery of others. That is why Hon.odonga today is saying, Africa, let us break the chains and stop killing ourselves. It is someone else's business. Of course, those who manufacture arms, they have a philosophical argument that guns don't kill people. It is people who use guns to kill others. If you put a gun down there, is it going to shoot you and kill you? No, it is a human being who brings it. So for them, they'll manufacture guns. It is up to those who buy it to see what to do with the guns. And they're right. They have a case. But look at this. Look at the arms industry. USA makes 44% of its own revenue in arms dealings, international arms dealing. In one financial year alone, United States of America makes 220.6 billion shillings in selling arms to your government, and you kill with yourselves. Russia makes 17% of the global arms revenue. France makes 8%. UK makes 5%. And China makes 4%. Between 1998, listen to this. Between 1998, Hon.odonga is telling me here, between 1998 and 2001, USA, UK, France, they earned more from selling arms, more money than the one they give you to aid, as aid. So people are carrying Porsche, made from America. The money they make from selling arms to you is more than what they give you as aid. Africans have to wake up. We got to break the chains of war. And the arms industry, every year there is an international arms exhibition. They invite your governments, your presidents, the military department, they go for international arms exhibitions to see the latest type of guns for killing others. They go with their ranks from year to year to see which guns they should buy. Others are the barrel are like this, others the barrel are like this, others the barrel are like this. The last year's arms exhibition, you cannot believe what was being displayed there. There is from heavy, light, medium, artilleries, surface-to-air missiles, aircrafts, anti-aircraft, self-propelled assault guns, self-propelled artillery. What is going on? I was involved in peace process between the Lord's Resistance Army and the government of Uganda. I went up to the bush to meet I met the leader of the Lord's Resistance Army, Joseph Kony. I was surprised. I found them with SAM 7, surface-to-air missile 7. So everyone has the arms, surface-to-air missiles 7 in the hands of a rebel group. not in the hands of a government. Oh, I now know why. The other day I was flying from Qatar to Spain. When they're flying over Africa, they go into the ocean. They fly from the European side, then they turn and come back because they know these guns are in illegal hands. There is a group called the Stockholm International Peace Institute, SIPRI. They have done their research and they say African government spends 41.2 billion US dollars in arms. How much is 41.2 billion US dollars? It's more than the budget of a whole country for health, education, for hospitals, for roads. It's more. Now look at these statistics. I want to show you so that we break the chains in Africa. The countries with the highest and the lowest expenditures in the continent. Countries that are almost at peace with itself, that buying arms and ammunition is not a priority to them. Sierra Leone, it's low. They spend 20.2 million US dollars in arms. The lowest, one of the lowest in the continent. Liberia, 15.1 million US dollars in arms and ammunition. Togo, 113 million US dollars in arms and ammunition. Equatorial Guinea spent 161 million US dollars in arms and ammunition. Central Africa Republic, 39 million US dollars in arms and ammunition. Those are ammunitions. Those are the lowest expenditure countries. Now let us look at the highest expenditures in the African continent. Egypt spends 4,016 million US dollars in arms and ammunition. South Africa is the second biggest expenditure, has the second biggest military expenditure, 3,475 million US dollars. This is according to SIPRI, Stockholm International Peace Institute. South Africa. Of course, for South Africa, I can philosophically justify it because there is a very big debate and lobbying that one of the countries in Africa should at least be in the UN security system. The third country with the biggest military expenditure is Nigeria with 2,403 million US dollars. Kenya is the fourth biggest expenditure in the African continent with 1,097 million US dollars. Angola is number 5 with 1,301 million US dollars spent in military. As earlier I said, they have been in war since 1974. Number 6, my own country, Uganda, spends 948 million US dollars. Number 6 in the African continent. The 7th is 639 million US dollars, the Tanzanian government, which spends in arms and industries. So the debate is this expenditure justifiable? Are we not products of international lobbies for international arm manufacturing industries and farms? What is the way forward? Now the debate has to start. That's the first way forward. I've given you the figures. You can circulate this video. The debate has to start. What has happened to the Ubuntu? RIP Nelson Mandela. RIP Archbishop Desmond Tutu. There is a whole Ubuntu concept. You are because I am. We need to rethink and redefine the African philosophy of livelihood. So it's a call to order. We also need other traditional mechanisms of resolving conflicts. We need to entrench and empower them. This would be a subject of another debate for another day, which I'm doing a research on African traditional justice mechanisms. We have seen how a traditional justice mechanism, the Gacaca courts in Rwanda, has worked to restore sanity. So there is a need to popularize the traditional mechanisms of conflict resolutions, like the Matoput among the Luos Acholis of Uganda. Africa cannot afford to be at war. We need to critically think. We need to go back to the drawing board. But at the basis of this thinking, Hon.odonga says, don't forget that the arms industry is someone's business. They will always look for where to sell the arms and ammunition. Peace. Thank you for listening. These are my thoughts. Subscribe, post your views. We will always give alternative ideas until we put our governments to pressure and our elected leaders to pressure whether the war is necessary.